He who has ears, let him hear. That is something Jesus said all the time in the New Testament, right? And there's good reason for that. One, I mean, he was proclaiming the gospel message, right? He wanted people to hear his teaching because it led to life. But not just that. When we don't listen, right? When we just speak what we want to speak, we're never going to learn anything. We're never going to grow in wisdom, right? The Pharisees, they always spoke what they thought. They always said what they were already intending to say and never listened for perspective, never listened for understanding. And that's why they were so led astray, because they did what was right in their own mind. In Proverbs 17 and 18, it makes it very clear, right? I'll start in verse 27. It says, whoever restrains his words has knowledge, and he who has a cool spirit is a man of understanding. Even a fool who keeps silent is considered wise. When he closes his lips, he is deemed intelligent. But whoever isolates himself seeks his own desire. He breaks out against all sound judgment. A fool takes no pleasure in understanding, but only in expressing his opinion. You see, that isolation verse is very interesting. When you isolate yourself and just do your ideas and just do your perspectives, well, you're going to break sound judgment. You're just going to get in your own head and think things are right and they make sense to you, so they're right, right? But when you start talking to other people, when you start listening to other people and hearing what they have to say, you can think on it. When you start listening to the voice of God, right, then you'll gain wisdom. You'll gain perspective, because perspective leads to wisdom. It leads to wise judgment and how to wisely serve others and love others and treat others properly. Because Jesus says to treat others as you want to be treated, right? And it's hard to do. I'm bad at it. We're all bad at it. But when we listen to people and try to meet people and understand people, we'll become much better at it. And that's the important part. We need to try to understand. Sometimes it's not always pleasurable, right? A fool takes no pleasure in understanding, but a fool can become wise. In Proverbs 19:20 says, listen to advice and accept instruction, that you may gain wisdom in the future. When you do that, it may not always be easy. You will gain wisdom. So do that, right? It's hard, but let he who has ears hear. They may grow in wisdom, and that we can serve others better and glorify God better. Stay in the word, y'all, and have a blessed day.